Hello, everybody. Welcome back to another episode of Nova Drift. If you would believe it, maybe you wouldn't believe it. This is my second time trying to do this. I actually just aborted a run 5 seconds ago. Funny story. Because I forgot that my controller was plugged in. So all my controls are messed up. Anywho, it's fixed this time. We're trying a build that was given to me to build and try. So that is what we are going to do. And I'm excited for it, and I actually need to pull it back up. Okay, there we go. Shield. Wop. Okay. I hope that you all are having a nice day so far. Mine's been okay. I'm actually just finished recording my other video that's going up today, the Binding of Isaac video, and I was having a very intimate talk on that about things in life right now. And you know what? I'm not done having that talk, so we're talking about it here too. It's not like crazy stuff. I'm sorry. I'm trying to talk and also read at the same time. It's not going very well. I don't see any of these on there, so I think we roll. I don't think any of these are on here either. This one is, though. Okay, anyways. Yeah, it's basically just to talk about basically my conundrum in life at the moment, which is, what do I want to do as like a career? It's not really a conundrum. I already think I know what I want to do, but it's more so just a how practical, how feasible is this? I actually need to check if this audio is really loud on OBS right now, because it kind of feels like it is. Is that because I turned it up, maybe? Okay, no. Can you go down? I probably just turned the music down. Okay, anyways. Yeah, it's a tough time in in life right now, as many college kids experience. It's just, there's a lot going on, and it's difficult to, I'm sorry, there's so much going on right now. It's difficult to really, like, verbalize thoughts while you're reading. It's difficult to just have everything figured out, and be able to say for certain what it is that you want to do. I think I already know what I want to do. I'm certain enough that I was not expecting that. I'm glad it happened, though. Yeah, certain enough that I've already kind of started pursuing it, like, professionally. Which is, I would like to go into photography because I enjoy it, and I'm also kind of good at it. And I am actually in the process of building a website and portfolio. And part of what I was talking about in the other video is how it really sucks that I can't actually share that with anybody on YouTube. Because doing so would involve having to disclose a lot of personal information about myself that I'm not super comfortable giving right now. You know what I mean? And I know I talked about this a little bit as well. If you read my my New Year's post about how there's actually, like, a lot of cool stuff happening in my life right now, in my personal life, that I really wish I could talk about. Like, I actually had a short story that I wrote get published, which is kind of amazing. And I really wish that I could give more information about it, obviously, because that's just a really cool thing to have happen. But I can't, because you know, it's got my full name attached to that story, and as I've mentioned before, I have a very unique last name. So unfortunately, what that means is that basically once you have it, you have any piece of information that you want to know about me, because if you look up the words Brian and then my last name, there it is. It's all on the internet, which is not great for me. But you know, I was talking about this in the other video too. I've been thinking a little bit about just...
Your Google Home isn't set up yet. To get started, download the Google Home app on a phone or tablet.
You heard it here first, folks. Anywho, now that I've unplugged my Google Home that's somehow activated from some part of the sentence that I just said. Anyways, you know, I've been thinking about it a little bit, and I might just say fuck it and just give that stuff out, and, you know, give out the everything. Just not everything, but, you know, link my short story and link my photography stuff and all this other stuff, because I really do want to be able to talk about it and share it and so on and so forth, but it's just unfortunately not really a feasible possibility right now, which sucks. But I don't know. Part of this whole talk goes into I'm thinking about doing some photography related videos for the channel, and doing so would mean doing some more real life stuff, notably going out and, you know, I don't know if any of you are interested in this kind of video, whatever, but shield cooldown is one I need. I'm not sure if any of you are, you know, familiar with the world of photography videos and stuff on YouTube, but they all kind of have this thing where they'll take their cameras and they'll take a GoPro or, you know, a secondary camera, and they'll go to a scenic location and they'll film themselves taking pictures, and then they'll put up a bunch of the pictures in the video and be like, hey, this is how it turned out, you know, this is how the picture looks. And then they'll be like, okay, and also they're on my website if you want the full resolution and order things and all that other stuff. But for me, it would be more so just, here's the full resolution, because, you know, YouTube crunches the I'm sorry, words don't come to me while I'm trying to read. I don't think I want any of these things. Maybe I do. No, it does not look like it. What do I take? Sure. I probably, like, I feel like this run is just falling apart. I do need this one. I feel like this run is just falling apart because I've just, like, been trying to do multiple things at once. It's kind of funny, but whatever. It is what it is, right? I need this. Maybe. I thought I saw this on the list. It doesn't look like it, though. So I do want this, though. Okay, take that. I do want this, too. Okay, anyways. Look, the long and the short of it is, there's a lot of stuff in my life right now that I would like to talk about in YouTube, and maybe even bring a little bit of into YouTube. I just haven't decided if I'm ready to make that leap yet or not. And I don't know, I'm grappling with it a little bit. Because like I said, would like to be able to do that, but there's just you know, a lingering fear of just having that much, you know, of my personal life just available for people online. It's a little bit scary, but you know, it's just, I don't know, something to think about, really. For me, not for you guys. It's not much thinking about it for you. The most thinking that you'll do about it is one day you'll either come onto YouTube and they'll be like, oh my god, you know, this is this guy's name, this is what he looks like, you know, this is, oh my god, let me look him up and find out where he lives, right? Or you'll come onto YouTube one day and you'll be like, hey, DualBlades put up another video. How swag is that? So that's basically all the thinking you guys have to do. But it's just, you know, I mean, I say, you know, as if you know the woes, but probably don't. No offense to any of you. It's just, I don't know, it's kind of a niche issue to have to deal with. But yeah, I don't know. It's just, you know, real talk kind of aside a little bit. You know, it's, I mean, not like aside a little bit, but like real talk in the frame a little bit. Let's focus on the real talk. It's just, I don't know, something I want to do. I think I do want to give this information to you guys. My fear is just what follows that. You know, what disastrous effect, you know, occurs as a result of that. Probably nothing. You know, realistically, ideally, nothing. But I'm gonna die. Yeah, there's no way out of that. I don't know, you just can't be too careful. Especially not in the world we live in today, where everything is online. And all it takes is one person who doesn't like the kind of things that you post, you know, be it a video where I don't know, maybe I make a self-deprecating joke that they're like, hey, I just didn't like that joke. And now I'm sending the SWAT team to your house, motherfucker. Get ready. And the next thing you know, they've kicked down my front door and they shot me in the leg. You know, I have no idea. That is like, unfortunately, it's a very present issue, right? But, you know, I talked about this. I'm going to keep referencing the other video just because that's, like I said, that's kind of where this all originated. I mentioned this in the other video, but the lucky thing for me is that most of the time shit like that happens to streamers, right? And you want to know why? It's because streamers get to see it happen, right? That's what they're pining for. It's less about, okay, let me make this guy's life suck. It's more about like, hey, let's make this guy's life suck, but I want front row seats. So I'm not as concerned about it happening, you know, if I were to put up a thing and be like, hey, this is me. I mean, think about the countless number of people who have their information available on their YouTube channels and probably have never suffered that issue, right? Probably a lot. In fact, I'm certain it's probably a lot. But, you know, as I said, can't ever be too careful. Why even take a risk? It's kind of the way I see it. Why even mess around with it? I'll tell you why. It's because I want to. It's because I want to take the risk. Because I feel like I can trust people enough that they will be supportive, and I won't have to deal with that kind of problem. But who knows? Not me. Can't say one way or another. Phantom Strike is a very fun thing, and I think I might take it. Anywho, the whole of this boils down to, in a roundabout way, I'm thinking about incorporating some more real-life stuff into the channel, because video games are fun and all, but I want to branch out. And if I am really thinking about turning photography into a career, which I kind of am, getting a little bit of YouTube action in on that is probably not a bad idea. Can't see any negatives coming of it, at least. I don't know. We'll see. We shall see. But at the end of the day, I am trying some new things and maybe implementing some new kinds of videos to the channel in some fashion or another. I was talking about this, and look, I'm not gonna just have the same conversation twice, right? Like, not to sound like an asshole when I say this, but if you actually really care, then just go watch the video, right? even if for no other reason than just so I don't have to repeat myself, right? But the heart of the issue, is that I am at a point in my life where I'm making decisions about what I really want to do. And I think what I really want to do is like focus on photography as a legitimate business opportunity for myself. And I think that a way of doing that would benefit me in the long run would be to incorporate that into YouTube in some sense. Maybe as a second channel, maybe as this channel, maybe I make a second channel and I just say, hey, you guys should watch this other channel that I made. You know why? Because it would help me financially more than this channel, right? Or maybe it's just that once a week or once every other week, I do like a vlog style video where I just go around with my camera to a scenic location, take some pretty pictures, put a couple of them up on the video, and be like, hey, doesn't that look pretty? You should go check out my my website and tell people, maybe if you're in the area, which I doubt most of you are, but you know, if you are, maybe tell people about it and then help me make some money doing this as a career, right? That's the kind of stuff I'm looking at doing. I'm gonna just teleport to the other side of this. Haha. Okay, anyways. But, you know, it would also let me do things like send people a link to the short story that I wrote that is published in an actual magazine that you can buy and hold in your hands. And maybe I could even do some cool, like, signings and as a giveaway or something. I could be like, hey, this is something that I wrote. This is something that you will only be able to get from me. And it's a signature on this thing that I wrote. Thank you for supporting the channel. You know, there's so many cool things I could do if I did something like this. You know, I could do something like that with photography too. Maybe I go out and I take a really cool picture and I'm like, hey, you like this picture? Well, guess what? In a giveaway that I'm doing, you can have this picture. And not only can you have this picture, I'll sign it too, right? That would be pretty swag. But then we come to the issue of it, which I've already mentioned, which I'm still grappling with and probably will for several days, if not weeks. And I don't know, just a lot to think about. Lots of stuff to think about. This is something that I want, and so I shall take it. I don't want this. And so I shall not take it. Whatever. We'll take it anyways. I'm out of rerolls. I need to pick something. I'm about to die. This is unfortunate. All right, let's be careful. Anyways. All that said and done. Do I have Aegis already? I do, so I don't want this. And I don't want that either. I don't think I want any of these. I'll take the turret. We're so like damagey right now. We pack quite a punch. Anyways, all that's talk aside, all that, all that stuff out of the way. It's not really out of the way, but we're gonna pretend like I'm not talking about it anymore. I am just hoping that, I'm able to make it in this world that we live in, doing something that makes me happy. And I am struggling to find the best means of getting to that point in time. That is the sum of what I've been talking about, in case you're just coming back from some kind of a break and you're like, I can't believe he's still talking about this. I am, but don't worry, because I think it's done now, probably, for the most part. Now we can just talk about the game for the next, how long has this been recording for? 20 minutes, give or take. Sure. So, yes, I hope that you all are having a nice day. I hope that you're not having to grapple with any issues like this right now. Not that it's like the literal end of the world in terms of things that I have to think about, because it's really not. More so just like, what's the easiest way to put this? A massive pain in the ass. Because it's just, it just makes me second guess a lot of things that I'm doing right now. And wonder if they are truly for the best, or if they're just because I'm wanting to do them, kind of a thing. You feel me? You feel me? Probably not. I'll pretend like you do anyways. I don't care about any of those things. I don't think I care about any of those things either. I do kind of care about this. So I will take it. Anywho, I do think it would be pretty cool actually to do a giveaway that is me signing the short story or what that. I don't know. I think that would just be a cool thing to do. I could just see that being. I didn't actually need to take that, but I mean we have it and it looks pretty cool, but I feel like it isn't. What did I just take? Discharge. When you fire, your shield discharges a portion of its energy. That might not actually be bad for this. Doesn't specifically say not to take it. Look, I feel like destroying the shield is probably a good thing, because we get to do a lot of damage all at once like that. I'm gonna operate under the assumption that this is a good thing. Okay, maybe not. Oh, maybe not. Okay. I'm not gonna lie. I am gonna try that build again, but I'm not gonna try it right now. Right now, I think I'm just gonna. I don't know. I'm gonna do that thing that I did that one time, which is just pick all the center ones and see what happens, because that's just the kind of mood I'm in right now. Not in a mood to follow a build to a T. Not that it's a bad thing. It's just, I don't know. You got to be in the right state of mind. And in case you hadn't noticed, it's not the state of mind that I am currently operating in. Oh man. But anywho, yes, I do like to do photography a lot. It's actually kind of like I'm actually making money off of it, like decent money off of it, which is actually really, really nice. Because I like to be able to make money and I like to be able to do things that I like, and having the two of those things together is kind of a perfect combination. So yeah, I hate this guy. It's like 5 times in a row that I fought you. Get the hell away from me. But yeah, so like I said, I'm trying to build up a portfolio. So right now I get I'm actually like like I said, like I'm actually making money off it. I'm being like hired by people like photograph things. It's very cool. Mostly it's portraits because I'm not half bad at doing portraits. But I also have been hired to do a couple of events, and those were pretty cool to do. But right now I'm trying to put together a portfolio because I'm actively searching an apprenticeship in photography, and that is that kind of thing. You know, you gotta have a foundation for. So I've put together a website for myself. I use Squarespace. This is not sponsored by Squarespace. I don't have nearly enough people who watch my videos for that. But if it was sponsored by Squarespace, I would say use it because it was actually really easy to use. I know that's what all the things say, right? But actually, it is 100% true. It's actually really easy. It's literally, I'm not even joking. It is literally, you drag and drop things on is that easy. I listen to me. I'm telling you, this is not sponsored, all right? But if you need to make a website, I would recommend that you do it on there. All right, now 5 years from now, when I do get sponsored by Squarespace, I can say, look, man, I already made you a video. It's this one right here. All joking aside, though. Yeah, I have myself a little website. It's still very, very foundational right now. As in, I haven't even completely removed, like, I've basically just, like, took a bunch of templates that I liked and I stuck them in places with the goal of eventually getting around to fixing them, but I haven't actually done that yet. So I kind of just jumped from like one section to another, and so there's like a bunch of sections that are kind of finished, and then there's a bunch of sections that are like not finished, and then there's like a couple of sections that you just click the link and it doesn't actually take you anywhere because it's not actually a page for it yet. But you know what? It's all done in stages. It's all done in stages, so yes. But I'm trying to put all my pictures on there, all the good ones at least, because there are a lot of pictures that I've taken, some better than others. That is part of photography. And so, you know, I gotta have a nice little foundational thing put together. That way, like, let's say someone does want me to come do a photo shoot for them, or I don't know, photograph a soccer game. Let's say someone wants me to come photograph a soccer game, right? I can be like, hey, well, you know, you need a little sample of what I can do. I have a whole website. Here it is. Here's a website. And I just give them the link. And yeah, that's the plan. And then that also lets it so that, you know, if I do something for someone and they're like, wow, this turned out really good. And I'm like, I know, right? Tell your friends. And they're like, what do I tell them? I can be like, send them my website, because it's got like a built-in thing where you can like, I hate this motherfucker. I wish you would stop showing up. It's got this built-in thing where you can like contact me through the website. Like you fill out a message and then it comes to my email address. How cool is that? So if someone could fill out the thing and be like, hey, can you do a photo shoot for me? And I could be like, I absolutely can. Thank you for using the website that I worked so hard to build. You know, that kind of stuff. And it's just very cool, very easy, and more importantly than all of those things, very professional, right? Because that is arguably the most important part of all this. I gotta seem like a real professional because that's who people want to hire, right? People who know what they're doing. And more importantly than that, people who seem like they know what they're doing. Because I can tell you this, most people don't ever know what they're doing. They just pretend like it. The people who seem like they know what they're doing just are able to pretend like they know things better than other people. That's 100% a fact of life. If you don't believe me, I guarantee you, like, if you don't believe me, it's because you've not experienced life like I have, right? People in my job right now don't know shit. Managers at my job right now don't know a single goddamn thing that's going on at any point in time. They just pretend like they do. And, you know, it works out pretty well for everyone involved, I would say. It's just, look, fake it till you make it, but, you know, if it takes you a while to make it, then you're not doing anything wrong. It's just, you know, you just gotta get a poker face. But all of this stuff aside, all these ramblings of a crazy person aside, I am trying my absolute hardest to make this like a career thing, and it's going pretty well. You know, I don't remember what I've talked about in this video and what I've not talked about in this video, but if I haven't talked about it, I'll talk about it again. If I have, I'll talk about it again anyways, because I've already talked about it either way. But I am actually making enough money off of photography right now that I'm comfortably able to quit my job, which is cool. It doesn't make as quite as much money as my other job does. Like I say my real job, right? That's just because it pays better, but it doesn't make quite that much money. But I don't know. I'm making a couple $100 a month, which is great. There's no complaints from me about that at all. I'm currently at the point in time where I'm hoping that I'm able to basically, you know, this is the big problem with photography, is that it's all localized. You know, like I can't take a flight to, you know, Canada to do a photo shoot for somebody in Canada, and can't drive 5 hours to go do someone, you know, a photo shoot for someone, you know, somewhere else either. So it's all about where you live, which kind of sucks. Unless, and this is the real stuff that I want to do, unless you get paid to travel to do photography. Now that, obviously, I think is what every photographer wants to do. Now, if I could get paid to go on a hiking trail and take a bunch of pretty pictures of the trail and of the mountains and, you know, what have you, waterfalls, whatever, oh my god, that's like a dream come true, right? That's like ideal situation in terms of getting a job doing this, right? But obviously, if it was that easy, everybody would do it, right? And unfortunately, that's not the case. I'm really trying hard right now to go and practice doing that kind of photography, because it's really actually difficult. And this is also a really unfortunate reality that I have to face. I'm not very good at it. I'm actually not half bad, and this is not just talking myself up. I'm actually pretty decent at portrait photography, like going somewhere like downtown and taking a bunch of pictures of people downtown. I'm actually pretty good at that. I think that all the ones that I've done that have been like photo shoots of that nature, I think they've all turned out like really good. And like I said, that's not just me, like, you know, I don't know, talking myself up here. Like I genuinely believe that I am good at those. Now, if I could give you my website, there are several on there that I would point to and be like, hey, look at this picture that I took. It's very good. I'm not just a liar. But you just have to take my word for it. But that is the kind of stuff that I'm good at. That's not the kind of stuff I want to do. I'm really hoping that at some point in time, I'm able to make money traveling and taking pictures. Maybe not even traveling, like even, I mean, it would still be traveling even to just go to a national park. You know, even if it's not, I mean, that's not a huge travel, but I would still be happy doing that. Like, if I get to go somewhere pretty and take pictures, like, dude, that is literally, that is like, that is the goal. There is ever a goal to be had, that's the one. Get the hell away from me. I'm about to die already. I just got here. But, as I said, it's difficult to do that. Everybody wants to do stuff like that, and, you know, since everybody wants to do it, it's very competitive. But you know what that means? We just gotta try a little harder. because I'm not gonna let anything like that get in my way. Because you will never succeed in life unless you put 100% of effort into it. And that's not even true, because there are several people in life who have put 0 effort into things and are probably far more successful than I am because they were born into money. All right, let's just lay it out there. That's just how it is sometimes, right? But if you're a common Joe like me, trying to make it in life, you just got to put your effort into it and hope for the best. Okay. All right, we can't all be Elon Musks, okay? We can't all be, you know, the Kardashians. We can't look. It's just not everyone's lot in life. So we're just gonna pretend like those people don't exist for a minute and pretend like hard work gets you anywhere that you want to go, anywhere you want to go. It's just all hard work. Even if it's not the case, let's just close our eyes and pretend for a moment. All right, now that we're done pretending that's true. Yes, I'm just going to work extra hard and put more time into practicing. Like I'm taking a little bit of a drive on Sunday, which is tomorrow for you guys, but it's actually the day after for me. I'm taking a drive out to a hiking trail. It's about like, I don't know, 2.5, 3 hours from my house. Very, very pretty place. It's got like a waterfall. It's got, it's actually a really, really beautiful place. The only problem is it's, you know, obviously in the middle of winter, and so a lot of things are dead right now. And also it's been raining a lot, so not quite the best stuff going in my favor. But that's why I'm going on Sunday, because according to the forecast, it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a nice day out. And I may make a video about it. We'll see. I haven't decided yet. I actually just recently got a GoPro, and I may have that, may use that, may I don't know, use a couple of other things. I have a drone that does aerial photos. I might take that with me. And, like, this is what I'm saying. Like, I got the makings. I have all the pieces. I just need the I don't know. I just need the fortune to fall in my favor for a minute. But it's gonna happen. I'm gonna remain optimistic, even in the face of certain, I don't know, not happenings. There's probably a word for that I can't think of right now. It's not really adversity. You know, even, okay, I will laugh in the face of defeat. Let's say that. There you go. Put that on your postcard. I will laugh in the face of defeat and get back up and say I'm doing it anyways. Take that, Elon Musk. Punk ass bitch. Okay, anyways. You might be wondering why I'm in such a good mood. It's I just quit my job today. I put my notice. I feel really good because I actually hated my job a lot. Words can't actually describe how much I despised the place that I worked at. And so the realization in my mind that I don't actually have to go back after next week is really making me feel really good right now. Yeah, it was the icing on the cake for that place when so it's actually kind of a funny story. So I worked, I'm gonna say worked past tense, because I will not be working there anymore, probably in the future when you're watching this video. But I worked at a grocery store, and my job in this grocery store was at the end of the night, I had to go through and I basically had to make sure that everything in the store looked nice and tidy, and I basically had to make it look like nothing had been shot. Like people hadn't come through for the day and bought a bunch of groceries, right? And here, you know, in this side of the pond, we call that job one of two things. It's either called conditioning or it's called blocking, right? It depends on who you ask, okay? I call it conditioning And so that is what I will refer to it as. But I've been doing that job for this place for, I don't know, probably the better part of 2 years now, give or take. Throwing in a couple of, leaves of absences for school and whatnot here and there, but nothing major. Like, I've actually worked at the company itself for like 3 years now. But I actually took an extended period of time off during COVID. And when I came back, I used to be a cashier. When I came back, I was like, yeah, fuck the people, man. Fuck public service. I want to be in the back where people don't have to see me, right? I don't want to, not even that. I want to be in the back where I don't have to deal with the shitty customers all day, okay? And, because, man, oh my god, you will gain some life experience working at a grocery store, I can tell you that right now. You really get to see people's true colors, you know? It's insanity how vile people can be, how entitled people can be, really, but that's besides the point. So I did this job for, 2 years now. In the span of the 2 years that I've been there, I have gotten 1 raise, and it was because I was told that if I trained for another department in the store, I would get a raise for it. And when 3 months went by and I hadn't got a raise, I threatened to quit. And they said, okay, we could give you your raise now, right? So I got a raise. It wasn't very much. It was less than they told me I'd get, but it was enough to get me to stay, right? As any shitty job will do, okay? So I stayed. I've been there, grinning and bearing it, because gotta make money somehow, right? Shit costs money and life ain't free. And it was me and it was 2 other people that did my job, right? There were 3 of us in total, which means that we'd work each anywhere between 3 and 4 days a week, depending on, how many people they needed each night and all that other fun stuff that goes into it, right? Well, next thing you know, the other 2 people quit. They both said that they didn't want to work there anymore and they were going to go somewhere else, right? Can't blame them, gotta move on at some point, right? Whatever. And so it was just me, and they were like, oh, don't worry, temporarily, it's just gonna be you. We'll find a replacement, and, next thing you know, you'll have someone working with you again. I was like, all right, whatever, fine. Okay, flash forward 3 months, and they haven't hired anybody new. It's still just me doing this job. I'm working, like, 5 days a week, even though I told them, I can't work more than like 3 days a week because I have school and all that stuff. They still scheduled me for it anyways, so. And I had many talks with my managers about, cutting down on how many days they schedule me, and they were like, basically, well, that's your problem because we need you to come and work. And I was like, all right, well, I'm not gonna be there. And they're like, well, if you don't show up, we're gonna have to, give you a write-up or whatever. And this went back and forth for like 3 months, okay? And all the while, they were not hiring any new people for this position, okay? Not even one. Okay, now, flash forward to, I don't know, 3 weeks ago, maybe? They hired a new guy, okay? That's great. Oh, and I would like to keep in mind, by the way, I was never actually written up for not coming in if they told me they needed me to come in because, fun little fact, they have my written on a piece of paper availability, and they directly went against it. And I took it up with HR, and they're like, yeah, you can't actually do that, big dog. And my manager was like, whatever, fuck you anyways. So I got the upper hand on that one because, I knew what is and is not allowed in that store. But anyways, flash forward about 3 weeks ago. We hired a new guy. He's not bad. He's fine. I mean, he's not anything to brag about, right? He does his job, whatever. And so, they haven't scheduled me as much anymore. Like, I'm basically pretty much back to what I was working prior to everybody quitting, right? I think we have time for a quick one while I finish this story. So we're basically back to what I've been working prior to everybody quitting. Okay. And so it's about time. It's that time of year for a yearly appraisal, which if you don't know what that is, it's basically the time of year when you sit down with your manager and they tell you how good of a job you did or how bad of a job you did and how much money they're gonna give you. Basically, how much, what in a monetary sense is the caliber of work that you've done throughout the year worth to them, right? And so I would like to preface this story with saying, for the last 2 years, right? There's 4 tiers of rankings, okay? For the last 2 years, I've gotten the top tier. Number 1, and basically like exceeds all expectations, yada yada yada, right? Like basically I've just gone above and beyond, right? So I was like, all right, well, if the last couple of years are anything to go off of, I'm probably in the clear because I worked like 3 times as hard this year because no one else was working, right? It was literally just me doing this whole job by myself, okay? Especially, okay, so there's a time of year, it's called inventory, right? Basically where we have to go through the store, we have to make sure that we have all the items in the store that our records say we have, right? And it's the conditioner, my job, and the other people that work with me, it's our job to basically go through and count all of those items, right? But usually there's a team of us. Well, you know, of course, since there was just me, I had to do that whole thing by myself, all right? It was a complete pain in the ass, okay? I did it by myself. So I'm sitting here, I'm thinking, hey, I have to be getting, the raise is like, it goes from, okay, it's less about the raise, and it's more about the principle behind it, right? Because if you get a 3, right, 1 below the highest, you get like 2.25% raise, which is absolutely shitty, disgusting, barely qualifies as a raise, right? And if you get a 4, you get like a 2.5, right? So the money doesn't really change that much. It's more about the principle behind, okay, come and stroke my ego, tell me how good I've done for the year so that I don't feel as bad about working at this store, okay? So, you know, my manager is like, oh, yeah, you know, because we were just chit-chatting for a minute while, you know, like getting ready for the work day and all that stuff. And, you know, she was in the process of finishing up someone's appraisal, and I was like, oh, cool, like, oh, I didn't realize you guys were doing that, because we usually do them later in the year. And, you know, she's like, oh, we're doing them earlier this year just to get them out of the way. I was like, oh, cool, what'd I get? She's like, oh, yeah, yeah, you got a meets expectation, which is a 3, all right? I was like, oh, why? She's like, oh, you know, well, you know, it's just the company doesn't want us giving anybody more than a 3 this year, blah blah blah. And I was like, oh, okay. And, you know, I was like, well, so and so said that they got higher than a 3, like, and they were like, oh yeah, well, actually the main reason is because in order for us to give anyone higher than a 3 this year, we have to have a meeting with, like, you know, she has a boss. She was like, yeah, for anybody to get higher than a 3 this year, you know, we actually have to have a meeting with our boss, right? Like the manager of like the store. And she was like, yeah, we have to have a meeting with them and they have to approve it. And I swear to God, the words from this woman's mouth were, and honestly, I didn't really feel like going through all the work, so I just gave everybody a 3. I was like, wow, okay, that's really cool. So that makes me feel really appreciated. I'm glad that you couldn't sit down for a 5-minute conversation to go to bat for all the hard work that I've done this year. And I even raised that question. I was like, you know, I was the only person doing this job for 3 months. So I was like, I feel like that probably exceeds expectations. I was like, not to mention, you know, the inventory was coming on, and you know, I did that whole thing by myself, literally by myself. No one helped me. That was just me doing this whole thing for our store. Like, I kind of feel like that exceeds expectations, you know? She was like, yeah, well, and that was it. And I was like, oh, okay, cool. So, whatever. Okay, cool. So I got up and I left and I worked my shift and I came in today and I was like, okay, I quit. Here's my notice. I am not coming back after next Friday. I will work up through next Friday and I am not coming back. And of course, she was like, "Oh, I can't believe you're doing this. Oh, why?" And I was like, I feel like you probably know why. Because my work through the year, in your words, was not worth sitting down and having a 5-minute conversation with your boss about why I deserved a 2.5% raise instead of a 2.25% raise. She was like, "Oh, well, she was like, "Oh, I completely understand. I feel your frustration." She literally was like, she was trying to back like she was on my side. She's like, "Oh, I feel your frustrations. I understand. I understand." I was like, "You don't though, because the thing is, like, this is literally all you're doing. Like, you are the person who made it so this happened. We're not on the same team here. Like, you're on a team with yourself, and I'm having to suffer because you're on that team. Feel me?" And she was like, "Yeah, well, oh, it's gonna suck to lose you. Oh, blah blah blah." And I was like, "Well, I mean, you should have thought about that, like." And, I will say there's several managers at that store, and this manager sucks a lot, and I really dislike her. A lot of people really dislike her. But the other managers are actually really cool, and the other managers were like, "Wow, I can't believe you're leaving. That really sucks." Because, and this is not just me saying this. I am actually a good worker for the store. I actually do a lot of things around there, believe it or not. I actually do happen to invest a lot of my time and effort into doing a good job at work. Okay? It is one of my fatal flaws is I am a good worker no matter the circumstances. And it's why I didn't just walk out and leave. I put in a notice and said that I would work through it because I have respect for people even if they don't have respect for me. But, I was talking to the other managers about it and, just kind of voicing my frustrations at the one manager, but unfortunately there's nothing they can do because I'm not in their department, They have no say over my yearly review because I'm not in their department. And I could go to like the head honcho, the big store manager, and voice concerns, but I'm not going to do that either because it's just not worth my time. They have shown me that my time in that store is not being valued, and honestly, they pay me pretty shit anyways. And I could probably find a better job if I really wanted to somewhere else. I just decided that now is a better time than ever to really just try and say, look, if I don't want to go back somewhere like that, I really got to try and work hard on this photography shit, because if I don't, that's my fallback, and I don't want to have to fall back to another job like that. So here is to bigger, brighter futures in a career I'm actually happy with, right? Here. Cheers, everybody, cheers. But anywho, I'm probably just gonna kill myself real quick because I don't want to have to sit through another long rambling conversation now that I've actually finished that one. And I apologize if this episode was a lot of rambling conversations. Long-time viewers, you'll know, these happen every once in a while. Sometimes it's just a day where I gotta talk about stuff, and we just talk about stuff for a little bit, right? Notably, and I actually think I've deleted it since, there's a Darkest Dungeon episode a long time ago in which I was talking about a trip to the doctor's office that I made. It's actually kind of a funny story, but I'm not going to go into details about it because I do want to wrap this video up. But it was basically in sum, I had gone to the doctor's office for my yearly checkup, and my doctor told me that I was fat. And I was like, I don't know if I believe you, because I like see my rib cage in the shower. Like, I don't know. And she was like, "Oh, well, you gotta go by the BMI counts." And I was like, I don't know about that one either, dog. It's like, BMI doesn't really mean anything if you can look at a person and physically see that they're not morbidly obese like you're telling me that I am. Which she didn't say I was morbidly obese. She said I was on track for it, though. It really just put me in a bad mood because I was like, "Who the hell are you?" Like, it wasn't even for my sake, though. It was at the whole point of it was that I had a friend at the time. I mean, we're still friends, but he has since recovered, who was actually suffering from a really bad eating disorder because of a similar trip to the doctor's office that went very, very, very similarly to how that one went. And I was like, how many fucking people, how many people has this doctor set up with an eating disorder? Like, we didn't go to the same office, but specifically, how many people has this doctor given like an eating disorder or something? Because you're going in for your physical and you're saying that they're fat, when most of these people are probably perfectly fine, you know what I mean? Like, anyways, it's just a bunch of bullshit. Sometimes life just be like that sometimes, and you just have to sit and talk about it and just get it off your chest, and that's kind of what today was. So I apologize if you did not enjoy this video, if you just skipped through it. I completely understand. I'm not going to hold it against anybody. Like I said, sometimes it just happens. Sometimes you just... Hey man, sometimes you just gotta talk about things. And that's just what this video was. But with that being said, thank you all for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this episode. If you did, leave a thumbs up. If you didn't, leave a thumbs down. If you'd like to see more, consider subscribing. I upload daily at 2 o'clock and 3 o'clock. As always, I hope you all have a fantastic rest of your day, and I will see you all in the next episode. So long, everybody.